How did you feel about um, getting into this industry as a female artist?
They call it positive discrimination stuff. So yeah, you get into lineups because they need a woman as a token. And that can be really, really hard because you don't want to be there as a token, of course.
Do you think the techno scene in Switzerland it's dying, it's changing?
Well, yeah, as I said, it's polarizing. And we are going through something that we call underground, but is actually a gentrified, capitalized underground.
What do you think of the policy, of the door policy of Berlin? Is it necessary or is it elitism?
The whole scene has become elitist, and it also has become like more like monochromatic. People tend to forget that the music we are playing were usually played and created by black gay communities. So, and how many black gay DJs you see in Switzerland today?
And I feel like a lot of artists are focusing more on their brand than their art somehow. What do you think about this?
So yeah, we talk about social, we talk about community, but Instagram is neither of them. But of course, the scene is suffering from it because now we call that techno, we don't call that pop. And so people who are not inside the scene are having a hard time making the difference between the two.
So, welcome to episode 2 with GIOSKI.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So without much further ado, let's start the episode. So the first question is how you got into electronic music, and yeah, tell me a bit of your story from the beginning.
Okay, so in electronic music, I've been an actor in the scene since not very long time actually. Like it's been like 4 years now. But my journey started like long before because I always listened to electronic music ever since I was a child. It started more with house stuff, French house and stuff like that. I was listening to it with my sister, and then I went into techno like I would say around 2014 stuff. When I discovered I went to Berlin. I discovered like Berlin techno with labels like Inner Vision, So Scuton and stuff.
So was Berlin kind of the introduction to
I think
techno?
yes. Like I was like already starting to listen to that stuff, and then I said to myself that I had to like go there for living that scene and dig in record shops and discover more about it. Yeah.
Okay, and how was your transition from you started playing different genres first on techno, right?
Not really. Like I started playing because after like my trip there, I had so many others, and as I said, I was digging into record shops, and I started having this kind of big collection of records. And so I just bought some turntables and started mixing that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was like techno was different back then. It was like 120 BPM, very minimal stuff. So yeah, it's different from now, but it was still techno, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And you only play techno, or you also like to play other styles?
Yeah, it depends on your definition of other stuff. Because
like house or electro.
I recently I enjoy digging a bit more of house and electro stuff, but I feel I don't know. I don't know enough for now for really like do a whole set in a club for house music. I'm still like learning a lot about it, but I really do enjoy doing it.
What has been a key moment in your life that changed the rhythm of your music career?
Uh, it's difficult to say because like is kind of a journey more than some really big events that marked it. But certainly my first gig, when you have like this feeling of like, for starters, relearning everything you thought you know, because it's loud, there is no light, you have the pressure of performance and stuff. And on the other side, that feeling like of feeling the energy of the crowd, that you're playing your music loud and people are also feeling the same things as you, it was really magical. So maybe that's, if I had to say a moment, maybe that's the one.
When was this and where?
So it was 2022, yeah, in Folklore, for the Brutalism event series by my friend Atonal.
Yeah, how was your journey from the moment you started? Did you find it difficult? Did you find it easy to network, to meet people, to get into the scene?
Well, I mean, at the beginning, I didn't have really expectations about it. So I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was like a whole new world that opened up to me and was very exciting. I mean, it still is, but um, so yeah, I wouldn't say it was difficult because as I said, I didn't have expectations or having like that much gig per month or stuff. But then, yeah, one other like period that really helped me in developing my career was when I entered in my former agency, Noot, and that helped me got visibility and new gigs, and I also learned a lot about from other people who were in the roster and from my agent Alina. And yeah, it was a really really long but not painful learning process.
How did you feel about um, getting into this industry as a female artist? Did you find it easier or more difficult?
Both, because yeah, of course, you have this, they call it positive discrimination stuff. So yeah, you get into lineups because they need a woman as a token, but and that can be really really hard because you don't want to be there as a token, of course, but also it's an opportunity for you to show them. So yeah, it's not always easy to realize that you're rightful to be there and you're not a token. You can show them what you got, and yeah, so it's, yeah, you have this duality which is not always super easy, but you have to go past it and yeah, just do your thing.
And what's your personality like? Extrovert, introvert, ambivert, maybe?
200% introvert. Yeah.
And how does this affect your career? Like in terms of, for example, networking, or like, is networking a must?
I think it is, yeah. But I mean, I'm an introvert, but I am also easygoing. Like I'm not that talkative, but I'm kind of easy to get along to.
Yeah,
And
I agree with that. We just met, kind of, but yeah.
but yeah, but I think also being in the scene taught me a lot, and also in my personal development on that side. I used to be much more introverted than I am now, because like, yeah, having this opportunity to, yeah, meet people in the scene, also people that have the same interests in you, same ideas, and it really helps you to,
Push up.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and to be confident about speaking and
Yeah, I think obviously people valuing your work and what you do, it's gonna uplift you.
yeah, totally.
So you are a resident at Le Zoo-Usine in Geneva,
Yeah.
and also co-founder of Club François.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a bit more about that. How do you become a resident at Le Zoo? When and how do you come up with Club François, and why?
So yeah, Club François was first. So yeah, but it was the same year actually. It was kind of the same period, and there are two like really different things. Club François, we started doing that event series in Lausanne because Lausanne at the moment really lacked of techno parties. So people used to go a lot to Geneva, and there were no clubs to go out for young people that liked more underground music. And so we started like this event series, and with it, we were like many DJs from Lausanne at that time. It was we were with Volta, which is a really like OG DJ from Lausanne. Like he's been playing for like 30 years and just really, really experienced. And Distorted Orchestra, Atonal, Mathieu Benjamin. This was the initial crew.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we started doing parties in like non-underground clubs because there is no underground club in Lausanne. Apart from the really, really underground space like Espace Autogéré and stuff like that, like clubs, it was really hard. So we started doing that to have this proposition in Lausanne, and also with the aim of like pushing a bit our locals artists. So yeah, that was the main goal, and still is.
Mm-hmm. So you only have local lineups,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Always
Local, and sometimes we try to like book people from maybe the German side, which are also like either newcomers or considered as locals, you know.
Yeah. So not big headliners or anything like that. Mm-hmm.
And for the zoo, yeah, I was playing there quite a lot already. And yeah, so at some point I asked them if they were down for me being a resident there. And also I have this idea, maybe I don't know if we're talking about that later, but to organize my own events there, like yeah, show my vision and stuff. And they were super down for it, and I had really, really a good support from them. So yeah.
How is your proposition to a club the first time you open Club François?
What do you mean?
Like, where was the first place where you did it?
The first place was a club in Place Saint-François. That's the name. And it was a club that really opened and closed lots of time. It's like underground, in the really like technical term.
Basement.
A basement, yeah, stop.
Yeah.
And yeah, they reopened and they were looking for some collective to do like regular stuff. So yes, that was it. But we organized there just twice, and then they reclosed. So now we are going like to many different spaces, like always changing a bit.
What are some of the clubs where you hosted the Club François?
But the first one was called Glitch, which is now closed. We're doing it ABC, which is the club is upstairs from the D, like this big club in Lausanne. We also did some like we call them like pirate event because they were not really legal. and and yeah, now we discovered a new place called Continuum, which is not really technically a club, more like it looks like a beer garden a bit, but they also have a nice inside space with sound system, and it's really, really cool. And we are doing our first one in Romandie, 18th of April. So next one is gonna be there, and we are really, really excited because it's a much beloved club for the underground scene in Lausanne. Yeah.
And how do you feel about the underground scene in Lausanne?
Oh,
Is there any left, or is the mainstream has taken over?
I mean, it's Lausanne, but it's also everywhere else. I think that
Mm-hmm.
it's not over. It just like it kind of polarized. Either you have super underground events, as I said in Espace de Gérer and stuff. Either you have commercial one, and like the kind of in between struggles a bit to live, which it may be also logical. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I think maybe that's what we can observe everywhere else. I mean, and it's kind of maybe also natural because like every other style that used to be underground, you can like watch punk music or hip hop. They always like get this mainstreamization and then polarize in the like the purists that wanted to stay super underground and the super commercial stuff.
But
So
I feel like that's what's happening now with this hard techno.
totally 100%. Yeah.
Like, but I feel like it's good somehow too, because so for example, for me, I got into electronic music by the EDM boom,
Mm-hmm.
you know, back to 2012 kind of thing. And but then that led me to discover other genres and other type of music, and I even changed the music I play and everything. So I think it's gonna happen the same with the hard techno generation. Somehow we can all say that. Um, do you think the techno scene in Switzerland it's dying? It's changing?
Well, as I said, it's polarizing, and there is still underground. You just have to look for it in place you're not used to look for it, maybe. And but there is one, and I think is we are also living in a moment when we need it, and so is gonna grow, and maybe musical style will be different. I don't know if it's gonna be techno again or if it's gonna be some other stuff, but in a more like general way of underground. I don't think it's dying. I think that what we knew maybe as a techno underground scene is dying, but something else is coming.
I mean, the underground is suffering a lot. Um,
Mm.
I would say all of the problems from the underground is
Yeah, of course. Like, if you want something like for me, is kind of a really complex subject, complex problem because I feel like we want this kind of organized and professional underground, which is kind of it's not really possible because it's like the antithesis for one another. So we are going through something that we call underground, but is actually a gentrified, capitalized underground. So we call it underground, and we are kind of deceived that it's not working, but it's not working because it's nor underground nor commercial. I, I mean, I'm not expert, but it's my thought.
I mean, where is the line between underground and mainstream?
Yeah, it's
Is
exactly.
it when you start selling more tickets, or when the event gets popular, or like what makes the differentiation between mainstream and underground? I want also the audience to write in the comments what they think. Where is the line between underground and mainstream, and what are your thoughts on this? Um, what roles do you think collectives and independent events organizers play in fostering underground music culture somehow?
For me, they have like a major role because they have something that then to me today's clubs lacks a lot, which is an aura and a sense of community. Uh, I don't feel like in Switzerland I really have a club you go to and you know that is gonna be good. And you're at the people like you like, and the people like you get along with, and have the same ideas, also the same maybe musical taste are gonna be there. I never go to a club now without really watching the lineups or which kind of event are there, which organizers are there. But if I know that is a collective or an organizer that I know, and I know that their crowd will be there, so I go. So they have this like community. It's always been like the it always had the central role in the techno scene and every underground music genre. And I think like clubs are losing it, and collectives are the only organization that still has it, maybe.
Best club experience playing at and also as a guest. I think it's different.
Yeah, but so playing at, I cannot say the name nor the place because it's a clandestine club.
Okay.
And it was really the best experience for me to play because it it was really, it has everything a club needs. So fair material, good sound system, a really 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 nice crowd, which is the most important things. And I got to play a 4-hour set closing, and it was just amazing because it's also like really low lights, people just enjoying the music, and also like a good but not overdue hospitality, just the right amount of everything. And maybe that says a lot about the underground and clubs scene right now, that like my best experience was an unpaid gig in a secret place. And
How all of this industry actually started, like a basement with minimum resources, just sound and
it felt like going back to what's important, community, good sound system, because please.
yeah.
And yeah.
And you mentioned like a 4-hour set. What's your perception or perspective in playing longer or shorter times?
I think it really depends of the style you're playing, because for a techno DJ, especially like more hypnotic or classic techno.
Oh yeah.
As me, it's really important to have a long time, a long set, because it's it's a music that is not like right in your face. You have to like live it. It's hypnotic. You have to take time to get it.
Journey.
It's a journey. So it's really important for me to have long set. Like I don't really like playing a 1 hour and a half set. But I can also understand it for other styles. 1 hour is more than enough.
Are we filling up lineups with a lot of people with the intention to sell more tickets? And so like not promoting maybe less DJs playing more time, so
Yeah.
it is also more like distracted or busy all the time, like changes of DJs and music styles and this and that, rather than maybe let the DJ play for a few more hours and take into this journey that you're talking about.
Yeah, totally. But it goes, as you said, with the ticket selling and the big financial problem that clubs are facing right now. And now it's being like pushed more and more because we have shorter and shorter set. We have tons of B2B sets also, which I also do with my Animal Farm event series. Like they are B2B only, but like I'm very strict on the fact that there's never gonna be less than 3 hour. Also with the zoo, we talked about it, and they also told me, yeah, if you want, we can also put another B2B, so you can book more people, not necessarily headliners, also locals. But I'm like, yeah, it's already a B2B. If you make it even shorter, Like it's 1 hour to get in the mood with the other person, and then you create something. So
Exactly.
yeah, we are feeling like lineups to sell tickets. That's for sure. But it's kind of a vicious circle because that's also what the crowd is asking for. And then you book more DJs, then they get used to have like 1,000 DJs on a lineup. So if you do less, they're like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I don't know, like, I feel like people is not going out that much because we are putting a lot of effort into like headliners. And like, for example, an event that brings like 4 headliners. And then, so you have that option or you have the option to go out every weekend, you know?
So we are totally killing curiosity. People just go out and want to know what to expect, so it loses all their interest for me. And also and maybe it's something that they don't realize, but with time they also lose interest because they're maybe unconsciously not like stimulated by it, because they had what they asked for, no surprise, and still they paid for like $30 ticket, and I don't know how much in drinks, because like people also prices are going crazy. People go out less also because of inflation and stuff. But yeah, people are not curious anymore, and that's the big issue.
So you also played not only in Switzerland, but you played also internationally, like Berlin, Paris. Where else have you played?
Yeah, internationally, just Paris and Berlin. And Paris was just once at a really nice party that Alice LF invited me. Yeah, a really good DJ producer, super nice person. She's gonna also play with me at the zoo for the next animal farm.
Cool.
So yeah, we really got along very well, and it was super cool. It was this after parties organized at Glazart. So the party starts at 6:30 in the morning. Also, it was a bit weird because I started, and yeah, so I woke up at 5 and then went to the club, and it opened at 6, uh, 6:30.
And it goes
But
until
and it goes until I think 4 p.m. or something.
Cool.
And yeah, it was like full full of people because other
all day.
yeah. I mean, I didn't stay until the end, but I started playing like, usually when you do an opening, the first like 15 minutes, get in the mood. I put my track. The second one, I looked up and like the club was full. I was like, okay, let's go. And yeah, it was super nice experience because yeah, as we said, in Switzerland, clubs are like less and less full. And yeah,
And what's your vision of the Swiss scene compared to places like Berlin or Paris?
I feel like, yeah, here people are maybe less and less going out, but I felt that last time I was in Berlin too. I mean, it was January, okay, so January is usually like a dead month everywhere, but I went out a lot there, and yeah, clubs were quite empty.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's like just because it was January or so. But yeah, the scene are quite different. Like everything like we try to copy here comes from Berlin. So yes, then no wonder that they're a step ahead. But in they have a very much different scene, but it also has changed in the last years. As I said, like the first time I went there, it was 2014. And yeah, so more than 10 years ago. And yeah, it changed a lot, but I still feel good going out there. They still have proposition. They still have people going to the parties. Of course, it has become like even more touristic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a word that I really use carefully because when I go there, I'm also a tourist. So yeah, I'm not judging everyone else queuing with me, and and also for them, I think it's hard because for us it's already, I don't know, you go to Bergen, you're like, wow, we don't have something like this here. But for them, as locals, I think like hardly anyone goes to Bergen. It's become like really, really pricey. Last time it was $30.
Oh.
30. Like, which is now, if you think about it, is a fair price. Like you have the party going for like 48 hours with like the best DJs, and also the space is beautiful, and you have many things to do inside. But first time I went, it was 14. 10 years ago, okay, but
Yeah, last time I went, it was like 20, I think.
yeah, but it went out really fast
Yeah.
because I think when I went in November, it was 26. And then
Does it depend on the event, or is it
maybe, I
is it
don't know.
fixed price?
I don't know if it's fixed, but
Maybe change it.
I know it changes for big events like the 20 years party or Easter or New Year's. I think it was 60th.
What do you think of the policy, of the door policy of Berghain? Is it necessary or is it elitism?
The whole scene has become elitist, and it also has become like more like monochromatic. I mean, people dress the same. You have like everyone looks the same in clubs and have the same speeches, and sometimes it has become a bit boring. Yeah, we were talking about how the scene like developed and changed. If we stay with the example of Berghain, when I used to go like 10 years ago, I felt like everyone was really welcome there. There was door policy, of course. It has always been like that.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was more of a melting pot inside than now, which are always like, I look around. Frankly, there are only good looking people, fit and well dressed, and I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful to see, but maybe
Kind of
not
loses its
yeah,
essence now.
yeah.
Yeah, but do you think maybe that's a good way to keep a place safe, or like underground safe somehow? Like a strong door policy?
Phew. It certainly is, but it always depends, like on which is the door policy. Like I never really got what the real policy is at Bergen. For instance, it's always like changing, and there are no rules. I don't know how they do it. I know they're trained for, but I don't know how they are trained for it. But for sure, yeah, inside I never had big problems. I always felt safe. So at the end, it works. So
Yeah, I mean, I think the people that goes there goes with the mindset ready for what Berghain it is. But yeah, the door policy, I also don't know what the parameters do they follow to like let some people in or out, or it's just random. But what's sure is that the people that goes kind of have still the essence of the music that they need to have somehow, even if they're tourists and they're there for the first time. Obviously, somebody that is not supposed to be there can get in there.
yeah,
Sure, it can happen as well.
but yeah, what you said is totally right, and also it makes me think about the fact that yeah, inside you have a vibe that you feel good in because it belongs to you in some ways. That's what you are looking for. Like probably if someone just want to like I don't know, sing along with their friends and getting drunk, they're not gonna having fun in Berghain.
Yeah.
And so they don't let you in, but it's win-win because
Yeah. Do you think we should have stronger door policies in Switzerland?
it's already hard to get people to go out. So I don't know if it's a good idea.
True.
I'm against like ticket selling techniques, but maybe that's too much.
Because like I feel like, for example, at OXYDIAN, we try to be like super inclusive and have like create a safe space kind of, or the safer it can be. And I always confront this situation where if you want to be fully inclusive, you have to be exclusive.
Yeah, of course.
Like if you're letting in people that is not inclusive,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't work. So you have to somehow be exclusive, but the way is like how do you measure that, and
Yeah,
how do you judge
that's
it?
all the finesse behind it, of course. But yeah, no, to answer maybe a bit better to your question, I think that door policy is something that can really help to have a vibe inside. We talked about Bergen by Bergen, like they constructed their whole personality on it. So it's yeah, it's kind of it's also a selling technique because
Sure.
yeah, you're queuing and you're like everyone is super tense.
Did you see that they made this website where you could like practice?
Oh wow,
So it will be like a video of you getting into the queue, and then you get to the
a simulation.
like a simulation. You get to the security, and they ask you like a couple of questions, which they actually don't do now.
No.
But this was like, I don't know, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And so they will ask you questions like, do you know who is playing? You know, what's the concept?
But they used to do it. Yeah, I remember like having
That's cool, because
Right.
it gives you a perspective of the person that is coming there without having to judge the way they look or the way they act.
Yeah.
So let's do a mini game so we can let loose a little bit again. One of the mini games I brought today is Time Travel Decks, which I ask you to decide which past or future moment in music history would you like to play in, and why.
Play.
Yeah, to
To
DJ.
play. Oh wow. Um Past maybe. I'm very curious about the beginning of the Ibiza scene
Mm-hmm.
because now it's considered super commercial and stuff. But at the beginning of like the first sets of Sven or Richie Houghton, how was it? Like, looked wild in the videos and not it looked underground, even if it was on the beach. But yeah, maybe there.
I think I will also go for the past. Like, I hear so good from past parties and like the history of like how everything started, and like where even sometimes the DJ will not be the main focus.
Mhm.
It will be mostly the dance floor and the DJ is just on the side kind of stuff.
And when or which venue in particular?
There's like nothing of matter. Yeah. In that time, I feel like, and also like when I speak to older people, they always say that. And for example, the other day I was wearing a T-shirt that says Berlin 1998, which is my born year. And I was working, and a customer came to ask me like, why do I have that T-shirt? I'm like, I just like it and stuff. And she started telling me like that was the year she went to Berlin for the first time.
Oh wow.
And that she was like in the bed parties and everything. And I asked her like, do you feel it's the same now? And she was like, no, it changed so much. It's still a lot of good stuff, but yeah, it definitely changed. So I think I will go to the party,
Berlin 1988.
for example. Next game is DJ Survival Kit. So what is 5 items that you will take to a desert island where you have to throw a party or a rave?
So beside the technical stuff, you mean, or
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, no, I mean what matters the most is that you have your booth, that you have a good sound system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, difficult one. Coffee,
Club Mate.
one of them.
Yeah.
Very important for both flavor and the DJ. Uh, yeah. Another object.
Maybe a tent so people don't die on the sound.
Yeah, sure. That and the water purifier
Mm-hmm. Important.
and maybe a fishnet
Never know.
because you can either wear it or take fish with it.
That will
So it's one object, multiple use. So how many we have? Yeah, there is one less, I think. I will bring
You can also bring people if you want.
yeah, a bouncer.
Shit. Okay. Continue with the subject, but not completely.
Mhm.
Like, what are your items that you always take to your gigs?
Um, I am kind of low maintenance, so I always bring, but I bring at least 3 USBs because I always stress about the links, the material that is working.
Yeah.
I always take my headphones. I was gonna say, of course, but not all the DJs show up with their own. So yeah, and water, and when I remember, a snack, because we tend to forget that maybe we're going to the club at midnight and going out of the club at 6 or 7, and this 6 or 7 hour without eating, it can really affect your health
Performance as well.
and your performance. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's your point of view about inclusivity and electronic music? Do you think there's enough representation, or do you think it's still cis male dominated?
It's still cis male dominated. Yeah, it's of course it is. This whole like positive discrimination stuff is making their fruits now, because there are more and more like female DJs playing. So
Mm.
that's really cool. And they're starting also to give the right spotlight and being considered for what they do instead of how they look. There's still a bit of a lack in female organizers and promoters, and people working like behind the scenes in clubs, including light engineering and VJing and all the people who contributes to the night.
Yeah.
There is not enough representation for me, especially in Switzerland, of other ethnicities, and also maybe non confirming to these binary views or gender. So yeah, we still have a long to go, especially because people tend to forget that the music we are playing were usually played and created by Black gay communities. So, and how many Black gay DJs you see in Switzerland today?
Mhm.
Not many.
That's crazy, you know, how something starts and changes to that point, which is almost like the opposite of what it started, you know?
Yeah.
Easy. Um, so Techno was originally a political movement about resistance, queer liberation, as we said, and also anti-capitalism. Um, do you think Techno has lost its political edge?
I don't really think it has, at least for what I experienced. I know we're observing more and more problematic behaviors in some parties, like in Paris and stuff. But I think maybe also like queer liberation and other stuff are maintained, and they are capitalized on right now. So yeah, maybe it's we lost a bit the initial view or what it was, but as we discussed before, is kind of it happens in every underground movement, and now like it's up to us, the actors of the scene, to like I don't I don't like the term two sides, but yeah, I mean like take a step back and maybe think about what was it all for in the first place, and it's not for the ego, it's not for making money, is for the community, and the community should include everyone that has this kind of ideal and this kind of values.
Exactly. But like, I feel like underground spaces are putting all the effort, you know, like curating diverse lineups, fostering inclusivity, fostering community. and somehow keeping the cultural side of it alive. But if the mainstream clubs, festivals, and industry leaders don't follow this, it feels like an endless uphill battle, like you're doing all of this effort, but if the main channels that drive everything are not doing it, it's like, how far am I getting with all of this?
I kind of stopped seeing that as a battle. I consider them as two very different scenes. I mean, I don't compare to this kind of events. I don't care about this kind of events. They're big money-making events. They're totally another scene, and it's not by aspiration for the scene to be that big.
Yeah.
Because for being that big, you have to do this kind of compromise they did. And that means, as we said, like not fostering really the artistic side of the DJs, putting 100 DJs on the lineup, capitalizing on product DJs, so they have to be good also in like the how they behave on stage, how they look, how they brand themselves. Like they're big brands, and for me, it's totally okay. It's pop. For me, it belongs to pop. And I don't compare it.
Yeah.
But of course, the scene is suffering from it because now we call that techno. We don't call that pop. And so people who are not inside the scene are having a hard time making the difference between the two. So when I say I play techno, they imagine me at Fernicto or something, and they say this is not techno, and they're like, "How is not techno? It's written as techno." I say like, "Yeah, I remember." We have maybe to educate people about the difference between the two.
Bravo. So you said, you mentioned like it's important for mainstream channels to like care about the marketing product of the artist. Are DJs nowadays artists or marketing products?
It depends who are you talking about, but these big headliners, they are marketing problem, marketing products. What I was gonna say, and it's that it became a problem also for them, for some of them, I think, because I once experienced, I was playing at an event. It was this big, hard techno Fernip style headliner playing after me, and they arrived, and I could say they were pissed or like not enjoying the night, and always looking like that, playing like that. And their videographer was there and always looking like, where's the videographer? And when the videographer was there, big smile, hands in the air. And then when the videographer was out, like, I'm not having a good time. And I'm like, wow, that's really super sad because this person like started their career with a purpose, and now like I became victim of their own like success, and they had to conform to this to this whole process of becoming a product to sell, a name on the lineup or
And I guess when you get that big somehow, you also have a lot of pressure from who represents you, agencies, touring. And when I see a DJ that is playing and is not happy, I always think like he's probably super tired. He played at 3 clubs before this one probably, or otherwise I don't understand how you cannot enjoy or like show that joyness while playing, while doing something that it's supposed to be like what you love.
Yeah, totally. But because this kind of DJs, I think they're also not really playing the stuff they really enjoy anymore.
Yeah.
Because they said have to work, they have to give people what they expect. So
how much pressure do you think agencies and like the behind the scenes workers put on DJs and artists?
I think there's a lot of pressure because I mean, even for a small DJ, I think in my personal experience, I also feel the pressure of image and branding a bit myself, so that people know that I know what I play, know my position, or even my ideas or stuff.
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing to manage, also because we are not really formed as in communication and stuff. I mean, I studied a totally different thing, and I like to make music and play music, but I'm not really a someone who studied communication or
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And also, if I communicate through music, is because I can really communicate otherwise. And I think if I already feel that pressure of image, I can't even imagine when you're that big, how much pressure you have about your image. But it joins a bit what I said before, and it is for me like the pop scene. It has always been like this for big artists. It just now is the new thing is that they are playing techno or old techno, but that's it. It's always been like that. It's not nothing new to me.
So nowadays it seems like social media, it's really important aspect of a DJ career. And I feel like a lot of artists are focusing more on their brand than their art somehow. What do you think about this?
The big problem for me behind it, like the much bigger issues, is that it feeds the cult of personality, and which is total opposite from the cult of community.
Yeah.
So yeah, we talk about social, we talk about community, but Instagram is neither of them, because it's personality, it's ego, and you have maybe a community following you, and you call that community, but between them there is no there is no connection. They just like see you as one to one. So maybe that's for me the biggest problem of the this kind of socials right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also people are getting also tired of it because it's always the same thing. So yeah, we there is gonna be the next trend, and of course it's always gonna be like that. But I mean, it's also a way of promoting yourself, which you can do from your house and yeah, from your couch, which is on one side is a good thing, on the other side is a bad one because because of trends and stuff, and you have to conform by them rather than communicating something personal, something more maybe authentic. This kind of self promoting and networking, it's always been there, and maybe once it was more like really going to clubs, it was going to record shops that nearly don't exist anymore, and create a community around really meeting people. And that's, it joins a bit what I said before. There was maybe a more, yeah, less unilateral exchange from this kind of networking compared to the social networking.
I feel like it's somehow time saving, but also time consuming.
Yeah, it's an illusion. It is time saving. Like it takes so much time.
Like it gives you the offer like to connect with a lot of people quickly and like discover a lot of new stuff. But to be up to date with social media, you have to like create content, this, that,
It's so time.
always have like a videographer with you or something. Like,
And also, like, you have to also care about, which kind of content you have, because even if you want to do some basic content, so drop videos in a big club, it means that you have to organize yourself with a videographer when you go to the club. You have to pay them because it's a job. And then they maybe they send you the video already like edited and selected, but still maybe you receive like 50 videos, and you have like to choose which one you have to put it on, and it's a big job in time and money consuming.
Also, when to post, how often to post, all of this depends, Yeah, it's mostly time consuming than
Yeah, it's saving. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Are big DJs overrated? Who is actually pushing the scene forward?
Yeah, but big DJs overrated. I don't know. For me, this kind of big DJs are more like performers. So overrated maybe in DJing because they probably not all of them. I mean, there are big ones that are still authentic,
Yeah.
but mostly they are not digging or they're not really working on their DJing skills because. Yeah, they do a 1 hour set with hits and with a small transition to one from one to another, clean but like
If not pre-recorded.
yeah, calculated, sterile kind of DJing, flawless and stuff. So maybe we see them as overrated because how we see DJing, but then they have other skills.
I think it's in that point when you like become more of a product than an artist, then you have to maybe take care of more product things and artist things.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe that's when you lose a bit of that. Because I feel like maybe a lot of big DJs now were amazing DJs before, but now they just working within this path of like, I have to do it this way to make it work. You know what I mean?
Mhm. It becomes pure like entertainment more than art.
Yeah, exactly. And then also we have another big DJs where they just have a really amazing following or social media and they get booked
Yeah.
to the biggest places and they just start their career as a product instead of as an artist. That's what I meant before with like, are we prioritizing an artist or marketing products,
Yeah.
So let's talk now about what's Animal Farm.
Okay, so yeah, Animal Farm is an event series that I started in collaboration with the zoo in the occasion of like my residency there. So is an event series I organize, which is B2B based, so B2B only, and yeah, it's always also like DJs that never played together before. So there is this kind of new element on it. And yeah, about the name and the main inspirations, is clearly a reference to the George Orwell's novel Animal Farm, which came out in 1940. Long story short, it's an animal farm in which animals are mistreated by their farmer, and then they start a revolution. And
I see where it's going.
but the pigs take over, like they manage the whole revolution, and they start getting more and more power. And where they finally kick out the farmer from the farm and start like managing themselves. Yeah, the pigs take over, and they even start sleeping in humans' bed and wearing humans, clothes. And the oppressed become the oppressor in the story. So because of the time it came out, it was mainly a critique on the Soviet Revolution and Stalinism. And yeah, and for me, it's always been something like this. Really, you can apply to social mechanisms today. And yeah, the main critique being, as we said before, the cult of personality. So also when you're oppressed and you start a revolution, yeah, oh fine, we are all together because we need each other. But as soon as you start having some privileges, then you want to take them for yourself. And this kind of what's happening for me also in the techno scene, which in which community is now a second letter. And the important thing is like being a huge DJ that plays everywhere and yeah, big on socials too, unfortunately. And that's kind of my critique. And it also translates into B2B set, because you're not there to shine yourself. You're there to create something with someone else.
That's a very cool concept, absolutely. How often does it happen?
So in the zoo, it's not really fixed. We always look for dates that that fits with everyone. Last year we made 3, and they also started since last year, April last year, to do it in Berlin, in smaller venues or bars. And it was really, really cool, because I kind of feel like I'm starting to create a bit a community there with other artists too. And we met for Animal Farm. I found them by like people who knew them. And it's really, really nice what like the artists and people I met thanks to this.
How do you manage to create an event series that is not online?
It's community, like people that I invite to play. They bring other people, and this is kind of working. I mean, it's cool because without having like this big social also strategy or stuff,
Advertising or whatever.
it works. So
Or community based and mouth to mouth kind of stuff.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's very organic
Yeah.
nowadays, and that's a bit how it used to be, I guess.
Yeah, but that's why I have trust that it's not like you're not really forced to do the social stuff to for your event or your career to work.
Yeah.
Like if you put the time you put on social, you put it like in maintaining contacts with people and artists you like make music with them, just chat with them about scene or everything else. Like keep your your real relation going is as we said, is not more time consuming that's posting every day. Like
And so what aspects do you follow, for example, to book artists for your events or whatever? Yeah.
so music wise, the artistic direction stays much in what I play, of course with nuances. It can be like more industrial, or it can be more even more hypnotic, or more experimental. Like if you look at the lineups I did until now at the zoo, the first one was Quelsa and Tauseti, which are 2 artists that really I play a lot, so it really corresponds me well. And I play with Pooja, an artist from Berlin, that we also really got along really well with the B2B.
Yeah.
The second one, the headliners were Billy Eves and Nina Farina. So a bit more in this bouncy modern, we call it groovy, if it's even it's not really a style. Techno, a bit fresher, I would say.
Yeah.
And then the last one was Surgeon and Rose. So OGs, really old school experimental and raw techno. So it's I look always for something that I found interesting, not fixing myself on a particular style. Then they have to be keen on B2Bs, which is not always the case. And also have a minimum of share values. I mean, I look for DJs there also fair enough people.
So you usually look for artists based on recommendation from others, social media, or how do you find the artists you want to play with? Or it's both?
For my partner, B2B partner, you mean? It depends. I mean, Pooja, I discover her thanks to the Female Pressure platform, which is a really cool one for Flint artists. And I sometimes check the mailing list, not every day because we get a lot of emailing. But yeah, she just like emailed a set she did, and I listened to it, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So we got in contact thanks to Instagram. But yeah, that was the first place.
So, for example, for upcoming artists, would you advise to either go two ways, like social media or networking?
I would say yeah, both, because social media is, I see as a bit either a visit card or a newsletter. Like someone goes on your profile, they know a bit what you do, what style do you play, and so it's, if you have a minimum created page, it can help you, like for people knowing what you do. So that's cool.
So it's important to have a social media channel where you can like showcase what you do and how you do it, but it's not so important, or shouldn't be so important, the amount of people that follow you.
Yeah, totally. And also, it's not, I mean, it's important. It can help you,
Yeah.
like, get in contact with people. It's not 100% like absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
You can do it without it, I think. I wish I could. I can really detach myself. I am too afraid that I won't be able to get in contact with people, and I'm still like a victim of it. I wish I wasn't, but I am. So, but yeah,
We are all in the same boat.
I think that in the end of the day, if you want something that lasts and something that is in some way unique and also authentic, uh, you don't have to put all your effort in the social media. Yeah, put it everywhere else in your artistry, or I don't know, read a book.
Yeah, I feel like people are not reading enough. I'm part of it. Like I don't.
But same, yeah, it's same.
I mean, for me, it's ADHD, which is like I cannot read one page without having to read it 5 times. So it's just like.
Yeah, I have the same problem, and also I got distracted like too easily. Also watching movies, I think I never watch one movie in a row except at the cinema when you're kind of forced to.
Yeah.
But that's why I never go to see.
But that doesn't happen when you play, or does it too?
No, no. When I play, I am in tunnel like, like is and I can't be distracted. I never like I don't drink and like
Yeah,
and
fully there.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's a bit the same. You know, when I play, it's like that connection in that present moment. You know,
Mhm.
like doesn't matter ADHD or whatever. Like I'm there for it. You know, and it's kind of part of it. You know, like if you're not fully immersed in what you're doing.
Yeah, but that's like a very actual problem because and it also comes from social media because we are like used to have this 13-second attention span, and you, for most meaningful things in life, takes more than 30 seconds.
But I feel like people is getting tired of that. Like longer content is coming back somehow.
Okay,
I feel
let's
like.
hope.
I feel like I don't know. Any thoughts in mental health related with industry struggles or
There are many possible because mainly, as we were saying before, it's a very emotional field, whether it is for DJs or for the crowd or all the other workers, because because you kind of a side of society because of the time already, as we said. And also is a very emotional thing. It's also often related to substances. They can be drugs, hard or light, or alcohol. It can be also you can be uh, codependent from a substance, but you can also be addicted to the party itself because it's strong emotion. It's like it's dark. You have a light, so if you have loud music, it's not really humanly natural.
It's like a disconnection from yourself and from
Yeah.
reality somehow.
So it can be really proving for your mind. It can be it can help you like a bit escape your problems for a bit. It can help put them out, but it can also enhance some really dark stuff. And starting from the moment when you really embrace your emotions, also as an artist, um, you open yourself, and what it comes out is not always pretty. And so it's proving, but I think it's something that it can be also really helpful, because if you get to face what it come out without going to dark places, it can really help you heal yourself in maybe some inner problems you have, or being aware of your emotions and of your problems is something that could be really important if you learn how to manage it.
Perfect. Since so I will now it's your moment to promote your stuff, upcoming gigs, releases, collectives, events, Animal Farm, Club François, everything you want to promote. It's your moment now.
Okay, nice. And so yes, my upcoming gig is one that I really looking forward to. I will play next week in Elysia with Quelsa and Quartz, which are between my really favorite artists in one of my favorite clubs, Switzerland. So I'm really excited. Next, we have a really cool collab event, Animal Farm with Groove Revival, which is a label, from also from Geneva, and RHB Rebellion from Basel.
Yeah.
And is a face-to-face event, so to keep also the Animal Farm concept of the B2Bs, but including the other collectives.
When is this happening?
It's March 29, so in 2 weeks.
I'm going to London that day.
Well, it's cool too.
Yeah, but
it would be a really cool one, and it's a member of the Zoo, because the Zoo is a collective, is a associative, also booking wise, and is a member of the Zoo Mathieu, which came out with this idea, and we are all really excited about the face to face, and there are also a sound system invited, so it's gonna be really cool.
29th of March.
29th of March.
And rather than that one,
Then with Club François, we are having the first time at Le Romandie, April 18th. And it's gonna be super nice. We invited Rinma, which is a pillar of the techno scene in the French and in the whole Switzerland, I think. Pusir and Distorted Orchestra, two of our residents, are playing at that night. And if you can come to Normandy, because it is an historical place, it's also an associative club, and it's really, really nice. Production-wise, I recently released a remix for Puja B on various artists, curated by Inverno, which is DJs from Berlin, part of the Blush Collective, which is a Flinta collective and label and event organizer. And we're having the VA is out, so I can give you the link if you want. We had many nice feedbacks from the promos. So we're gonna have a release party April 12th in Crack Belmer in Berlin. You're very welcome to come by. And we're all the artists of the VA are playing that night, so it's gonna be fun. It's also not a much big venue, so we get to talk if you want, and
So with this, I think we can close up this episode. It was an amazing pleasure to have you here.
Likewise, thank you very much.
And DJ GIOSKI, everybody, if you want to see them, next dates are again
March 22, Elysia in Basel. March 29th, Le Zoo for a full face-to-face night. Geneva, and then Berlin if you're there, April 12th for the release party.
So nothing more to say. Thank you very much, and I hope you liked it. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are about all the topics that we discussed, and then we can work something together. So, ciao!
Bye!